Here's another installment of what it's like to go to war. I've spent the last couple videos describing for you fear, because the truth is, war is the ultimate fear factory. Just about everything about war is intensely terrifying. And I did a little episode on the fear of the unknown. You can check that one out. I did the last episode on fear of the enemy and what the enemy might throw at you. Check that one out if you want. But there's another fear, and I think this one may be some of the most powerful motivation on a battlefield to conduct yourself, to get over fear. And fear itself can be used to overcome fear when it's, stay with me, fear of letting your buddies down. So think about it this way for just a second. I'm afraid of the enemy. I'm afraid of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen to me in this next fight. As soon as the bullets start flying, all of the planning, maybe months or years of preparation, goes right out the window, and now I'm just reacting to what's happening around me. And the enemy has the ability to, in my life. That's a powerful motivation. And frankly, there are some people that are so overwhelmed by the certainty of death or the idea of death that they just simply can't move beyond that fear. There's another fear, and this one doesn't necessarily work with it, but it can sometimes work against the fear of the unknown, fear of the enemy. And it's the fear of letting your buddies down. And for me personally, what I've seen on a battlefield, what I've experienced on battlefields, this may be the number one fear that motivated me, that pushed me to do what I did on the battlefield. There were some times that I was just going into a dangerous situation, a dark, unknown situation, and I didn't want to let the guys to my left and right down. So I was willing to go into that unknown. I was willing to go face that danger because I loved that guy on my left and the guy on my right enough that I didn't want to let him down. But there were a couple of times, and only a couple of times, where I absolutely was certain if I did what I was being asked to do in combat, it would cost my life. And everything inside of me, every fiber of my being was screaming out, "Don't go, Jeff. Don't put your life on the line. Don't end it all for this combat mission." And I've said to many audiences in the past, what makes somebody join the military, a guy or a gal, they may join for a lot of reasons. Some of them join for the money. Some of them join for career opportunities. Some people join because they love the country or the way of life, or because of patriotism and the flag. But none of those things motivate somebody to run across the street if they know that running across the street in combat might very well cost them their life. None of those things will cause them to cross the street. The flag is important, the way of life, and all of the things that we hold dear. All of those things are awesome, and they are the reasons why a lot of people joined up to serve. But not one person has ever run across the street and put their life in what they believe to be certain danger for those reasons. It's always, 100% of the time, the love of the buddies to their left and to the right. In fact, in my case personally, it was because I didn't know the guys that were stranded out there that needed me to come back out there, and that I was very well probably going to die trying to get to them. I didn't know those guys personally, not like I knew my Ranger buddies to my left and to my right, but I did love the guys that I served with, and I didn't want to let them down. And if not letting them down means that I have to fight and die for them, that powerful motivator was bigger for me than the fear of death, the fear of the enemy, fear of the unknown. This fear of not letting your buddies down, fear that I'm going to let my buddies down if I don't do what I'm required to do, and the fear of the enemy, these two can kind of cancel each other out. And although nobody runs across the street and faces this machine gun nest knowing that they might die doing it, nobody does that, with no fear whatsoever. Sometimes the love of your buddies, the desire not to let them down, is far stronger than the danger that the enemy is throwing your way. you want to know what makes men and women do these incredibly selfless acts of valor on battlefields, it's always 100% of the time, I love my buddies and I don't want to let them down. Even if it costs me my life, I'm going to go do something that is terrifying me right now. But I love my friends more than I'm afraid of what might happen to me if I go do this. And the fear of letting your buddies down is it should be a powerful motivator in combat. This is just a little personal example of what it's like to go to combat. See you around.